Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about alteration of generation. We have frequently heard in case of plants that alterations of generation are occurring in life cycle of plants. So what is alteration of generation? So we will understand alteration of generation by discussing about sexual reproduction in organisms. So how sexual reproduction, or you can say what is life cycle of sexually reproducing organism. So first we will discuss about sexual reproduction of animals and we will compare it with plants. So in animals, main body, the body of organism, that is 2n. So if body of organism is 2n, then it is called sporophyte or sporophytic body. So this 2n body, after maturation or after attaining sexual maturity, produces gametes by meiosis, and haploid gametes are produced. These gametes then further fuses to form 2n zygote. This zygote then further form a body, that is 2n sporophytic body. So this is a life cycle of sexually reproducing animals. So here you can see that this body is multicellular. It is composed of many cells, 2n body. So this body, 2n body here, is multicellular, composed of many cells. So it can be called generation, this multicellular body. But here gametes that are produced by meiosis are unicellular, means gametes do not divide further mitotically to form a multicellular body. So they do not divide further. So the gametes are restricted to unicellular body. So in that case they cannot be called generation because multicellular body is not forming there. So they are simply called gamete. They can't be called gametophyte, sporophyte, gametophyte, because multicellular body is not there. So this is the case of animals. But in case of plants, here I am talking about angiospermic plants. So main body, so this is 2n body, that is called sporophyte. So sporophyte of plant, we know that consists of root, stem, leaves. So this is sporophyte. Main body is 2n and it is multicellular. So it is multicellular body, then it is called sporophyte. After maturity, it will produce flowers, and inside flowers are also 2n, but inside flower we know that there is sepal, petal, androecium, gynoecium. So these sepal, petal are accessory wall. These are reproductive walls. In androecium we will find anthers, and in gynoecium we will find ovary. Inside anther there are sacs, different sacs. Inside sac there is a cell that will be called microspore mother cell. It will divide meiotically. So meiosis division will be there and it will form 4 cells. So these 4 N. So here number are reduced to haploid. So these 4 cells are called pollen grains. In case of gynosium, in ovary we know that there is ovule. Inside ovule there is a cell that is called megaspore mother cell. It will divide meiotically and forms 4 cells. Out of 4 cells, 3 will degenerate and only 1 remain functional, that is haploid. So here pollen grains are haploid and this megaspore, this is called megaspore, these are haploid. Then they will divide mitotically to form multicellular body. Here I am taking one pollen grain. So suppose this is a pollen grain. Outer membrane are intine and exine. And this is megaspore. So it will divide mitotically. We know that it may be 3-celled or 4-celled. 3-celled. We know that it have vegetative cell, tube cell, generative cell. So it becomes multicellular structure by, suppose this is a haploid and it will divide by mitosis and form multicellular structure. Similarly, this megaspore will divide mitotically and form 3-celled structure. 3 antipodals, 2 synergid and 1 egg. So it becomes 7-celled. All 7 cells, these all 7 cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they are haploid. And they are formed by mitosis division of that megaspore cell. So here you can see that this haploid structure becomes multicellular. It becomes 7-celled here and here it becomes 3-celled. Now further one of these 3 cells will form 2 male gamete. These male gamete then will fuse with egg and form zygote. So zygote is diploid. This zygote then form plant body, that is sporophyte. So here we can see that there are distinct 2 generations. First generation is sporophytic generation, diploid multicellular generation, that is plant body, that include roots, stems, leaves. And the second generation is haploid generation, that is male gametophyte. This 3-celled structure it is called male gametophyte, and this 7-celled structure is called female gametophyte. So here you can clearly see that there are 2 distinct generations, one generation and second generation, because this is multicellular structure, multicellular haploid structure. This is also multicellular haploid structure. So this is one generation and this is another generation, and these generations are altering one after another. First there will be sporophyte, then after sporophyte there will be gametophyte generation, then in gametophyte there will be here gametes, there will be formation of gamete, male gamete or female gamete. Female gamete is egg, then they will fuse and zygote will form. Zygote then multiply by mitosis and form body, that is sporophyte. So here generations are altering one after another. So that's why in case of plant there is alteration of generation. But when we compare this with animals, there is no such alteration of generation. There is only a single generation, that is a diploid generation, because here gametes do not further divides by mitosis, they simply fuse. But in case of plants, after meiosis, we know that pollen grain is formed. Here after meiosis, megaspore cell is formed. Then they will further divide by mitosis and form a small multicellular structure. That is female gametophyte, 7-cell structure here. That is male gametophyte is a 3-cell structure, or maybe in some other species it may be 4-cell. So clearly two generations are altering one after another. That's why it is called, there is occurring alteration of generation in case of plant, but in case of animals, no such alteration of generation occur. So this is alteration of generation: sporophytic, gametophytic, then sporophytic, then after that gametophytic, means generation are altering one after another.